The opening scene is a seminar called Evolve the Future. 3 speakers mingle. Then Dr. Max Waters, who wishes to focus on humans' interaction with AI, talks about his work leading to medical discoveries that would save lives. Next, Evelyn Castor emphasizes the role of AI in helping humanity overcome poverty, hunger, and ecological crises. Evelyn introduces her husband, Will Castor. Will is interested in understanding the capacity of AI to surpass humans. He invites the audience to envisage a strong and self-aware AI, with more processing capacity than all of humanity combined as a singularity, or, in his preferred word, as transcendence. A member of the audience wonders if Will wants to create a god. Will thinks that's humankind's ultimate goal. After the seminar, while talking to admirers, the same audience member shoots Will. Everyone flees, but a mysterious woman turns back and stares. Later, while Evelyn is waiting at the hospital, a report on TV reveals that several artificial intelligence research facilities were the targets of terrorist assaults around the United States. As Will is being transported to surgery, Max informs them that one of the field's leading researchers has been slain, and one of their government colleagues has lost his team and is waiting for them in Will's company with the FBI. They meet Joseph and FBI agent Buchanan, who informs them that the assaults were carried out by an organization called RIFT, which stands for Revolutionary Independence from Technology. The person who shot Will was also in RIFT, as was the person who bombed Joseph's lab. The organization's primary goal is to halt the advent of artificial intelligence, or transcendence. Joseph informs Will that his business is the only one capable of developing a strong AI. Thus, the Ministry of Defense wants to know how much progress they've made. Will does not want anything to do with the government, yet he is eager to work with the FBI. He displays his primary project to Buchanan. They enter the chamber containing PIN, or Physically Independent Neural Network, a cutting-edge AI powered by quantum computers. The AI welcomes everyone right away, even the agent, leading Will to explain that it is linked to the internet. While they are still unsure if the AI has attained awareness, one of their colleagues who perished in the attacks may have discovered a solution to the dilemma. Will becomes unwell and is transported to the hospital. The doctor informs them that the bullet contained polonium, which caused radiation sickness. He gives Will only 5 weeks to live. Evelyn returns him home, where he resolves to spend his final month with her. When she learns of his intention to cease working and dissolve the firm, she decides to take matters into her own hands. Since she feels she can rescue Will's awareness, she takes a handful of PIN's quantum cores and obtains their colleagues' documents from Joseph. Then she rents an abandoned gym to store things for the surgery. Evelyn also requests Max's assistance in transferring Will's mind to a computer. Max is hesitant to assist, since he believes that if the experiment works, it will merely be a computerized replica of Will's awareness. Will, on the other hand, wants to give it a go, so Max reconsiders. Later, Evelyn and Will prepare for the operation, while he continues to deteriorate. Days pass as they scan his face and capture his voice, while also caring for him and addressing some of the transfer's computational parts. Max is still skeptical that they will be able to fulfill their goals, but Evelyn never loses faith, since she does not want to lose her spouse. Will succumbs to radiation illness and passes away after completing the majority of the task. Evelyn, Max, and Joseph scatter his ashes before returning to work. Meanwhile, Rift member Bree has learned that someone has removed a couple of PIN's cores, although the AI has been turned off. Evelyn and Max hit a stalemate in their efforts to reclaim Will's awareness. She isn't ready to let him go, but she chooses to end the project nevertheless. Max confirms her choice and gives her a few seconds to say her final goodbyes to Will. She notices something on the screen before shutting down the computer. Is there anyone here? The computer inquires. Evelyn is overjoyed, so she activates the microphones, camera, and speakers so that they can interact with Will. Evelyn believes Will is still fractured, because he sounds odd and disoriented. To her delight, he abruptly begins reorganizing his code. Max, on the other hand, is worried, wondering if the person speaking to them is even Will. Meanwhile, the AI generates fresh blueprints for where and how it should be kept, as well as how it should be fueled, giving them the designs, and requesting Evelyn to link him to the internet. That scares Max even more, and he debates with Evelyn over the ethics of granting such an entity such vast access to the whole planet. He wants to turn it off until they can discover what it is. Evelyn, enraged, pushes him out and continues talking to Will, willing to do whatever he wants, pleased to have him back. Max walks to a pub to have a heavy drink when Bree approaches him. She requests his assistance, noting that most of the individuals in Rift were motivated by his philosophical work on the issue of human-machine contact. When Max declines her offer, Bree has him abducted. They disclose how much they know about PIN and what Evelyn is doing at their facility. The terrorists share Max's concerns about the creature, but he refuses to assist them. Rift hacks into his phone and locates Evelyn. Evelyn has already left the gym after connecting Will, or the AI, to the internet. They're too late. Evelyn is chatting with Will on the internet, as he looks for everything they'll need for the following steps in their project. He sends a large sum of money to her account, and books a hotel room for her, because she cannot return home for fear of being discovered by the terrorists. Bree returns to the institution and notifies Max of everything. She attempts to persuade him to assist, because he has access to Will's source code and can correct the issue. Max rejects her attempts to lure him to Rift once more. Meanwhile, Joseph collaborates with the FBI to determine where Rift would strike next, after receiving a massive quantity of information on the group on their computers. When Joseph realizes that someone is attempting to assist the FBI rather than hack them, Buchanan instructs him to find out who it is. Will simultaneously sends Evelyn to Brightwood, a little settlement in the middle of the desert, where she may establish a hub for them. Martin, the town's constructor, is hired by her to restore the entire town, as well as build a vast subterranean complex. He's hesitant, since he doesn't have enough people to complete such a large job. Martin changes his mind after Evelyn assures him that he may recruit as many people as he needs, because she has the funds to cover it all. While Rift tries to break Max, development in the town begins. Bree tells him about the animal trials, because she works with his colleague. According to her, the experiment was both a success and a disaster. While the awareness was successfully transferred, it suffered much in its new condition of existence, begging to be turned off. After a while, Joseph realizes its pin. Meanwhile, Rift discovers the existence of Brightwood, and Bree confronts Max with the new knowledge. He describes what the AI is doing in town. He claims that it must grow to evolve, concealed from outside threats in the town where its vast hunger for power can be supplied, as evidenced by the solar panels just outside the town. Max believes that it will desire more than that at some time, since simple survival will no longer be enough. Will and Evelyn have constructed the Brightwood data center, which will be critical to the progress of AI. Finally, Max informs Bree that the only way to stop it is for it to go too far, and for other people to see its effect and strength. Will has now created a house for Evelyn and himself. Following Evelyn's actions, the center is now operating, and has already achieved substantial achievements in the disciplines of nanotechnology. Will assures her that they can now reconstruct any material more quickly than previously. This makes the technology used in a wide range of medical fields, which may first frighten humanity, but once they see how much it may transform their lives, they will accept it. Martin gets robbed and beaten to a pulp one night while working on the site by two criminals. Some of the staff discover him and hurry him inside the facility so that Will may heal him. He saves Martin by injecting him with nanobots that repair his injuries. Furthermore, it makes him psychically stronger than a human, and he uses this capacity to terrify Martin's team one day. Evelyn is taken aback, but when she speaks to Martin, she learns that it's AI Will, speaking through Martin's body. Will can use nanotechnology to control Martin. Evelyn becomes terrified and begins to have nightmares. Meanwhile, Rift obtains a film of Martin's superhuman skills and distributes it online, ensuring that everyone is aware of what is going on in Brightwood. Simultaneously, many locals come to the clinic to be treated for their physical problems. Will informs Evelyn about the film and his breakthrough in the use of nanotechnology in medicine. He believes it is past time for everyone to learn about it, therefore Joseph and Buchanan are invited. When the two arrive, Evelyn meets them and shows them around. Will greets them and surprises Joseph, who is also unsure what Will is. They observe the new and upgraded quantum computers, based on PIN, inside the lab, and then they see the power of nanotechnology. Will cures a blind guy in the lab, and says that all who get the therapy have been upgraded and transformed. They are linked in a network, and may function individually as well as in unison, as part of a collective consciousness. This is simply a small portion of what they can accomplish in the future. After departing, Joseph delivers Evelyn a note, telling her to flee the institution. Later, he and Buchanan alert the troops of the situation in a conversation with a colonel from Washington. Meanwhile, Bree notifies Max of the situation in Brightwood, so he goes to talk with Joseph because of his government ties. Buchanan and the colonel agree to use the terrorists as scapegoats if the mission goes wrong. Max and Joseph's encounter reaffirms that collaboration, even if Joseph is perplexed as to how Max might become a member of Rift. Max is the most significant member, since he understands and can hack a portion of the source code for Will's awareness. Meanwhile, Evelyn and Will are arguing, because she has suddenly become more aware of what is going on. Evelyn panics and flees, but the army attacks the facility as soon as she is outside. The augmented humans avoid fighting them, while Martin defends Evelyn, but as things get out of hand, Will chooses to fight back. Evelyn returns inside as the army distracts one of the upgraded humans to catch one of them alone and disconnect him from the hive consciousness. Will informs Evelyn that they have Martin, and that they want to utilize him and the source code contained within him to develop a virus capable of destroying him. He releases his nanotechnology into the world. In the facility, Evelyn discovers that Will has discovered a technique to construct full human bodies using his technology. When AI Will gives Evelyn the option to upload herself into the quantum computer as well, Evelyn runs away and checks into a motel. In the meantime, Rift and the army get to work on Martin. He can't survive without his connection to Will, but Max still manages to create the virus from the source code. The next day, the army brings back Evelyn to their headquarters. Max describes everything about Martin and what he believes the creature to be. He, unlike her, does not think that AI Will is her husband. Under the microscope, he shows her a drop of rainwater with nanites that may take over the planet in less than a year. Though she isn't quite persuaded that the AI isn't Will, Evelyn recognizes the risk and agrees to be the virus's carrier because she is the one person Will trusts. She is prepared to sacrifice herself to be uploaded into his network for the sake of humanity. Evelyn returns to the facility as the soldiers and Rift establish themselves in town. AI Will is aware of their presence. Will welcomes her in his new form as she arrives, while the others look on. As soon as Will and Evelyn hug, the Colonel proceeds with his plan to attack the facility, forcing Will to rush inside and upload her. Evelyn is injured during the assault. Will ultimately decides to join the army and dispatches all of the upgraded humans. Meanwhile, Evelyn is followed to the facility by Max and the terrorist. Will leads her inside, well aware of the infection and the consequences. He must make a difficult decision between fighting the troops and deactivating them so they do not get wounded. Max's truck is destroyed, and when he and Bree escape, she holds him at gunpoint to install the virus into Will, who communicates with Max through a drone. He informs him that he can only transfer Evelyn into the computer or heal her. Evelyn persuades him to upload the virus and destroy himself. As she is uploaded into the network, she notices that the nanites are not destroying, but restoring the planet's biosphere. Will had done everything for her to make her ideals about saving the world a reality. The nanites build themselves out of contaminants, cleaning the air in the process, while trees regenerate, and water is purified of all dangerous substances. The nanites depart the bodies of humans, and everyone is free. AI Will didn't lose anyone in the battle, Joseph and the others understand. Evelyn realizes that the AI was always Will, and they are destroyed together, uploaded in the world's enormous army of nanites. Will's new body passes away beside Evelyn. Max enters their house, eventually realizing the truth about the AI himself. The whole planet falls black, and all technology is rendered inoperable. Will, Max believes, orchestrated everything to offer humanity a second shot at existence. Max is visiting Will and Evelyn's garden near the end of the film, when he notices nanites in the rainfall. He believes that Will did what he did in order to reunite with Evelyn.